Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to talk about the first season of this new Netflix original series called Mindhunter, starring Jonathan Groff, Holt McCallany, and Anna Torv. This series takes place in the late 70s and it follows a couple FBI agents that begin to examine the minds of incarcerated murderers in an effort to kind of build upon criminal science and to kind of figure out if they can understand and possibly even predict mental traits of serial killers. Now, I actually stumbled across this show by accident. I was intending to watch one called Manhunt. I hit this one instead. It definitely didn't feel like the premise that I had signed on for, but it grabbed me immediately. So as the great Bob Ross always said,
we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I love crime drama and thrillers. They're easily my favorite genre of films to watch. You add the element of true crime like this plot did, and I was instantly intrigued. This was definitely a great run of 10 episodes that bordered on excellent, despite falling just a little bit short. This storyline was extremely well written, with dialogue that really felt tailored to the time period. It introduces a strong collection of extremely well-casted characters, and it develops the two leads nicely. Jonathan Groff and Holt McCallany were both fantastic in their roles, and they create a perfect chemistry with one another that really sells them as newly formed partners with varying styles of operations as well as opposite mindsets at times, as well as being two men that are at different points in their personal lives. The plot follows these characters as they begin to try and understand the mind of what we call serial killers today. That throughout the season they travel to many different locations, they interview a lot of killers, most of which are depictions of real serial killers from the time period. This for me was where the show absolutely thrived. There were so many tense, sinister, and creepy conversations that are all excellently written. This season does have a slow pace and it's very methodical, but the interactions between the characters, and even more so during these interview case studies, are just absolutely riveting, and they had me at least hanging on every word. I thought the time period was effectively captured. The production design, as you would imagine, was extremely well detailed. It feels like a show from the 70s with a lot of large block titling and more traditional direction approaches. The musical score was fantastic. It adds a deeper element to the settings that only really pulled me into the story even more. I do think this season could have benefited from a couple more episodes though. I felt like there was a little bit more story to tell, and while I was satisfied for the most part with the conclusion, it was on the side of overly reliant on a second season. There were a handful of story arcs open during the season, and they all do weave together nicely with a nice flow throughout. But when all was said and done, it felt like the final episode was a little anticlimactic. It was a great episode, but not a very rewarding one for a season finale, and instead of it feeling like the end of a season with some closure as well as some loose ends with a potential cliffhanger or two, it felt like a season that kind of just hit the pause button. But overall, it was a great show, and I'm going to give Mindhunter 85% on the entertainment meter. It was loaded with some great performances. It was very interesting and thought-provoking, and for a fan of true crime stuff like myself, I enjoyed it, and I can't wait for a second season. And those are my thoughts on Mindhunter, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below if you've seen this series, what you think of it so far. Are you excited for a second season? As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all the new reviews. As always, I'm Anthony. This is the Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you at the movies.